Hey there, second grade. Today we are going to be doing Chapter 4, Lesson 9, two-step word problems, and we're going to be starting on page 273. Now, we've been working this whole chapter with regrouping, and today is going to be no different. But today we're going to be taking word problems. So we're going to have to read some of the problems and then turn them into these math problems that we need to do today. So let's go ahead and dive in. Go ahead. If you are not at page 273, feel free to pause the video right now and find that page. But we're going to come down here to the very bottom, and I'm going to read these directions down here. You are welcome to read them with me. But as I go through this, I'm going to use 3 different colored pencils today. All right. If you've got colored pencils, feel free to do that. I know that these pages are a little thin, so markers usually don't work very well. If you've got crayons, those could work as well, but I'm going to be using colored pencils today. All right. Whenever I see numbers in my word problem, I like to underline them, and then I like to go back through using my colored pencils afterwards to then figure out what those pieces of information are. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to zoom in, and again, if you're not sure where we are, page 273, all right, right over here in the corner. It says, draw the blocks to show your work. We're not going to draw blocks right now. We're just going to use our words to go ahead and do, or our numbers to do this one, all right? So let's go ahead and read. There are 62 people sledding. 13 people leave to go home. 12 people go inside for hot cocoa. And then I like to circle my question. How many people are still sledding? All right. I underlined whenever I saw numbers, and then I circle my question. All right. Now that I've done that, now I'm just going to go ahead and use my colored pencils just to color on each number so that way I remember that I want to make sure I use all these different numbers in my equation. All right. So I've got blue, orange, and green over here. Now I'm going to bring that information up here into my workspace to create this problem. It wants to know how many people are still sledding. Well, I need to figure out first how many people were sledding at the beginning. Well, it says at the beginning there were 62 people. So I'm going to use my blue to go ahead and write 62 people because that's how many were sledding. But then what happened next? It says 13 people leave to go home. So I'm going to use my orange next because there's 13 people that go home. Well, I need to figure something out right now. Did these 13 people come and join the sledders? No, it says they left. They leave to go home. So we are taking them away. They are no longer sledding. Our 62 sledders, 13 are leaving and not going to be sledding anymore. So now I can do this problem. Well, I have 2 minus 3. If the bottom number is larger, I can't do it. And 3 is bigger than 2, so I can't do that. So I need to regroup. So I'm going to cross off my 6, and I'm going to take 1 away from there. And that 1 is going to come over to be a 10. All right? I took 1 away, so 6 minus that 1 is 5. I'm left with a 5 in my tens place. The 2 needs to come up because this 10 can't just be alone. I've got 12 now. And now I can solve this problem. Well, 12 minus 3. Let's start at 12 and count back 3 times. 12, 11, 10, 9. So I need a 9 in my ones place. In my tens place, I have 5 minus 1. So start at 5 and count back 1 time. 5, 4. So I need a 4 here. Am I done? Is this how many people are still left sledding? I hope you said no, because we are not finished. It says after those 13 people left, 12 people go inside for hot cocoa. So when I do this next problem, I need to take my 49 and start a new subtraction, and that's going to go up on top. So I have 49. 12 people went inside for hot cocoa. If they go inside, can they still be sledding? No, they cannot. So these 12 people who go inside, I now am taking away from my sledder. So I'm going to minus 12. 9 minus 2. Do I need to regroup? No, my bottom number is smaller than my top number. 9 minus 2 is 8, 7. So I have 7. In my tens column, I have 4 minus 1. So 4 and count backwards one more time. 4, 3. So 3 is there. Am I done? Is there anything else? I used my blue numbers. I used my orange numbers. And I used my green numbers. Do I need to use any other numbers? No, I do not. So my answer here would be there are 37 people still sledding. All right. This is what we're going to be working on today, taking a word problem like this and turning it into equations so we can find the answer to our solution. And we're going to do that on the next page. So would you please turn with me? We're going to go to page 274. And on page 274, we're going to do another problem just like that together. And I'm going to use my same 3 colors that I did last time. And so I'm going to read my question, and then I'm going to put those colors in and see if I can solve it. So here we go. So it says there are 87 books at the library. I underline any time that I've got a number. 23 of the books are checked out. 4 of those books are returned. How many, and I'm going to circle my question, how many books are at the library now? All right, there was 87 books and 23 are checked out, but 4 of those have been returned. So how many are there? Well, I'm going to go ahead and give each one of my numbers a different color. So I'm going to give green, I'm going to give blue, and then I'm going to give orange. All right. So here I'm starting off, there's 87 books at the library. So I'm going to put 87. And as I'm writing on my paper, please make sure you are filling it in as well. You should have, even if you don't have colors, you can use your pencil to write down these same numbers. I'm starting with 87, and it says 23 books are checked out. Well, when books are checked out, that means they are taken away from the library. So we put a subtraction sign here. And I need to write in my 23, which I used blue. So 23. So now I have 87 minus 23. Well, I start in my ones place, and I have 7 minus 3. Can I do it? I can. My bottom number is smaller than my top number. So I'll start at 7 and count back 3 times. 7, 6, 5, 4. Now I can do my tens place. 8 minus 2. Start at 8 and count back 2 times. 8, 7, 6. So I now have 64. Well, I'm not done because I haven't used all my colors up here. I still have 4. So I need to bring my 64 up here. So I'm going to write 64. And it says 4 books are returned. So I'm going to use my orange to show my 4. Now, when books are returned, that means they're brought back to the library. When they're checked out, they're taken away. And when they are brought back, they are returned, they're back in the library. So I'm going to add 4 more books because there's 4 that have been brought back to the library. 4 plus 4 is 8. 6 plus 0 is 6. So my answer here would be 68. All right, 68 is how many books are at the library now. They started with 87. 23 were checked out, which gave us 64. That 64 was brought up here, and 4 books were brought back. So we had to add those 4 books because they came back into the building, and we ended with 68. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. Number 1 says, Haley has 33 books. She gives 14 books to her cousin. She gives 5 books to her sister. How many books does she have left? All right, just like I keep doing, I underline where there's numbers, and I circle my question. I want to know how many books Haley has. So let's go ahead and put some colors on our numbers, and then we can start to see if we can solve this problem. All right, so Haley has 33 books. She gives 14 to her cousin. She gives 5 books to her sister. How many does she have? Well, she's starting with 33. That's how many books she had at the beginning. So I'm going to put my 33. All right. She gives 14 books to her cousin. Well, if she's giving them away, does she have them anymore? No, she gave them away. She's not going to ask for them back. So we have 14, and there's a subtraction sign over here. Now that I've done that, now I'm going to subtract. I have 3 minus 4. If I have 3, can I take 4 away? No, I can't take 4 away from 3. So I need to regroup. So I'm going to take 1 away from my 10 spot. So this is going to become a 2 because I took 1 away. That 1 is going to come over here, and my 3 will come up. So now I have 13 I hope you can see that. I know it's a little small, but we have 13 minus 4. So let's start at 13 and count back 4 times. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. So I have a 9 in my ones place. In my tens place, I have 2 minus 1. 2, and I'll go back one time. 2, 1. Oh. So Haley had 33 books. She gave 14 away. Now she has 19. But she didn't stop there, did she? She gave away 5 more books. So I need to bring the 19 books Haley has, and she's giving away 5 more books, and that's my blue number. She gave away 5 more. When she gets rid of them, gives them away, that's getting rid of them. We're minusing 5 more. So 9 minus 5. Well, let's start at 9 and count back 5 times. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We started at 9 and took 5 away. It ended at 4. In my tens place, I have 10 minus nothing, so that's going to be a 1. So how many books does Haley have left? She has 14 books left. Okay? We had to take all of those parts and put it all together. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says Dale invites 25 people to his party. 8 people cannot come. 5 people come that were not invited. How many people come to the party? So I want to know how many people are at this party for Dale. So let's go ahead and get started. On this problem, I'm going to... Oh my goodness, I almost started without coloring in my different numbers. I hope you were about to tell me that. All right, let me go ahead and put a color on each one so we can make sure we use all 3 numbers and we don't reuse any of the numbers. All right, now that I've got that, how many people did Dale start with? He invited 25. So I need to do 25 people because that's how many were supposed to come. How many people could not come? It says 8 people could not come. Well, if they can't come, are they at the party? No. So I need to take this away. I need to have 25 minus 8. Well, when I start here, I have 5 minus 8. Can I do that? No, my bottom number is bigger than my top number, so that cannot work. All right, so I need to regroup. So I'm going to take 1 away from here. So 2 minus 1 is 1. That one's going to come up top, and my 5 will join it to make a 15. Now that I have 15, I can take away 8. Let's count backwards 8 times from 15. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So I have 7 in my ones place, and then 1 minus 0 is 1. So I have 17. Is that how many people came to the party? No. 17 is not, because there was still 5 people that came that were not invited. So I need to take my 17 and bring it up. And if 5 people came that were not invited, that means they are at the party. So I need to add these 5 more. Now I can do 7 plus 5. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My 2 stays in the ones place. I regroup over here. 1 plus 1 is 2 in my tens place. So how many people came to the party? 22 people came to the party. All right. This is how we solve these problems. I know it seems like there's a lot of steps. There are a lot of steps to a 2-step word problem because we have to organize all of our information. We have to write it out. We have to use that number and then use the second piece. And we have to figure out if we're adding or subtracting. All righty. Well, we're going to go ahead and go to the next page. This is page 275. And on page 275, we have 3 problems that I'm going to ask you to do for today. Now, before we get going, I will read these out loud to you. So if you would like for me to read them, you can always rewind this and hear these different problems again, all right? But I'm going to go ahead and read these problems out loud to you so that way we don't have reading as one of the problems. So here we go. Number 3 says, Marianne builds a tower out of blocks. She uses 89 blocks. 18 blocks fall off the tower. Her brother knocks 14 more blocks off the tower. How many blocks are still on the tower? And this is a nice one because they already set it all up for you. Number 4, you're going to have to do that on your own. It says, Ray has 56 comics. He gives 12 to his friend. He borrows 14 from his little brother. How many comics does Ray have now? All right, make sure you figure out what is the important information. Are we adding or subtracting? And number 5 says, there are 39 penguins on the iceberg. 11 penguins jump into the water. 4 more penguins jump onto another iceberg. How many penguins are left? So you can tell me how many penguins are left after that. I'm not going to go over these problems with you today, but when you come back together with your teacher tomorrow, we will go over this independent practice then. For today, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks so much for working hard with me. We'll see you again next time.